look at that Sera.
My name's Craig, Jim.
No,
You
that's a
know that.
Sera. It's a Toyota Sera.
Oh.
It was never sold in this country. That's why you have no idea.
I didn't know that.
Well, now you do.
Jim Hall knows it. Oh, or so he thinks.
All right, we're back at Adam. That's the All Toyotas of the Midwest Car Show right here at the Lexus Velodrome in Detroit. We're checking out some unique Toyota models that were not sold in the US. We got plenty of Toyotas and Lexus vehicles in America, but there's
Lots.
plenty that the company made that never came here. So what are we looking at, Jim?
This is one of the most interesting ones that we never got in the States.
I mean, based on the doors, I can't disagree.
Oh, it's beyond the doors. It's the glass. First of all, understand something. This is a car that they sold about 3,000 a year of for 5 years.
Okay.
Now, everybody would tell you you can't make money doing that, and they're mostly right.
Yeah, super low volume.
But it was using low-cost tooling. It basically poached the incredibly full Toyota parts bin for big stampings for a lot of the vehicle, and they ended up with like a little sporty 2+2 that was a fashion item, and these were big.
アンブレラではない、飛行機でもない、もちろん普通の自動車でもない。飛んでるセラ登場。
When this was out, you also had Nissan building these cars called the Pike cars.
Pike.
Pike.
That's like a sub-brand, if I remember, right?
It was never official. The cars never said Pike cars. It was used to talk about them in advertising, but it was never used in the cars. That was Nissan B1. It was Nissan POW.
Yes.
It was Nissan Figaro. Nissan S-Cargo, which was a truck that the designer who did it, the woman owned a Citroën 2CV.
Yeah, okay. The ultimate fashion car.
She owned a 2CV truck, a Fourgonnier. And so that was that was the thing that made her want to do that car. The Sera was not trying to do a retro car, which was what Nissan was doing. They were all kind of retro-y. They decided to do a modern automobile. And they wanted to do a modern automobile more modern than anything they had in the range. Because arguably, the Supra then was a really nice looking car. But this thing, there was nothing like this on the road.
No.
It was highly problematic in ways. They had to learn new ways to do glass forming.
I mean, that if you come in closer and see on the door, that's a massive panel of glass, and the curvature there is crazy. Yeah, it goes right up top.
And that's why they had to do this sort of drop window, because you could never articulate
this
window.
You're never going to roll that down into the door.
You couldn't even get it out much farther this way because the car has so much plan view curve in the door area. It was an amazing piece of glass.
So back up really quick. You mentioned there's a lot of parts bin sharing with this car. What is the platform or platforms maybe that the Sera poaches from?
The Sera used Paseo/Tercel drivetrains. Chassis components, the floor pan, if I remember correctly, was an existing floor pan that they got and they basically chopped it down and did a lap fit to shorten it a bit. But the whole idea was to use parts that were readily serviceable, that every Toyota dealer had in Japan at all of the dealer networks, and they'd sell it exclusively through a single dealership. And 3,000 a year, they thought, sure, we'll do it. It also has very nicely done, if you look at it, the surfacing on the car is very, very simple. It's got a nice shoulder on the side that they roll up in the side, and they've got a slight divot in the lower door. The car just really, it's surfaced.
It's very classy.
It's very nice. It's very sophisticated from a design standpoint until it gets to the upper where everything on it is over the top.
Quite literally over your top.
Yes. And they wanted the car to look like it had an all-glass upper, which is why it's got the black sheet metal center. The B-pillars are black, and it's also why they ran the rear window with no molding. Of any sort from a trim standpoint.
They wanted black and disappear.
They wanted a floating upper with a windshield. That was it.
Yeah.
And I know guys that wondered why they didn't break the A-pillar, but it would have been masking in a lousy way. They just wouldn't have done it. But the car itself it's a masterpiece of surfacing for its time, and a product that, from a marketing standpoint, only Toyota at that time and Nissan
their economies
had
of scale.
But they were the only guys to have the guts to rely that much on what is effectively temporary tooling.
Gotcha. Because you mentioned they were using softer dies to stamp a lot of those components, right? They're not going to last for 100,000
There
vehicles a year.
are cars where you are stamping 250,000 panels out of one set of tool in a year. Here, it was 15,000 and change for 5 years.
Yeah.
So you don't need tooling that's anywhere near as robust.
Yeah.
Because the build rate is so slow, you can do maintenance on tooling if something isn't quite right. The build rate allows you to basically do the thing in a way that lets you do a lot of enhancements to quality on a low volume car.
Yeah.
Now, there's a thing when you're building low volume cars, sometimes you have quality issues because there's variability in some of the parts, like the plastic parts.
Oh, yeah.
You have time to put them together because you've got guys that'll work in the line to say, okay, the eyepiece not fitting well.
Yeah.
Because pretty much every piece of soft trim on the interior, large piece, was new. Door panels, instrument panel, I mean,
Yeah.
that's all new stuff.
It's the underpinnings that were shared and the
Correct.
drivetrains that were
Correct.
shared.
Yeah, HVAC pack.
I mean, because
electric-
it doesn't make sense. Why are you going to re-engineer
Exactly.
any of that? Very cool car. I'd never heard of the Sera. Completely unknown to me.
They were rare in Japan, but it was one of those cars. In Tokyo, when it was out, you'd see Seras.
Gotcha. Very cool looking car. Love the doors. But we got a few other vehicles to talk about, Jim. So why don't we head on down the line here?
Let's go.
All right, Jim. What's next on the list here?
This is a Toyota Chaser.
It's a Chaser.
A Chaser,
Like
yeah.
you did a shot and you need some beer to wash it down?
Now, this one has been appropriately massaged. It clearly has, as you can see, a serious turbocharger on its inline-six engine, which it didn't normally.
That's a lot of turbo there.
It's a lot of turbo. The Chaser was one of a series of cars sold through different Toyota brand dealers. There was the Chaser, there was the Cresta, and then there was one called the Mark II.
Okay.
It's effectively this car with a different front fascia, different grille, different hood. But
So
other
they're
than
just
that-
like GM levels of badge engineering?
No, we're talking something the same as the Cirrus, the Stratus, and the Breeze. Okay?
So that bad. This is worse
because-
than GM badge engineering.
No, we're talking about lots of common sheet metal on the cars.
Yeah.
Common interiors, different upholstery trims, different trim in the interior. So one might use a certain kind of a fake wood, the other would use a different kind of fake wood.
You want your walnut or your burl,
Exactly. So they
open
did
pore ash.
they did those chains. Now they're sold to different dealers. But the mechanics of the car were pretty much in line across the cars. In other words, there was a comparable model with a certain engine for each of the ranges.
So sold at different dealers. What do you mean by that, Jim?
Toyota-
Don't you go to your Toyota store?
No.
I love what you do for me, Toyota. You sign the line and you drive home?
Toyota has, in Japan, they had multiple dealerships. They had Toyota Motor, they had Corolla, they had Amlux, they had one called Tokyo Toyopet.
Amlux?
Amlux.
Okay.
The Sera was a car sold only at the Amlux dealer.
Okay.
So they would have different dealer networks that would carry, no dealer would have all the Toyota brand range. Some only had a few cars.
Why?
It was the way marketing was done in Japan then. That's how it was
That's
done.
crazy.
Now understand, dealerships were not places you went to go buy a car. The dealer came to your house.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's a Japanese customer service.
Not door to door. They knew you. They
Well,
came
yeah,
back
they-
and said,
they-
yes, it was
yeah.
relationship based. But the Mark II version of this was Japan's biggest selling car
Okay.
for over a decade.
So extremely popular.
Extremely popular. And I would say it's a nice car, but if you look at it from a design standpoint, for the period in which it was built, it's very boring. It's not radical. It is simply the safe car to buy. From in Japan, the best manufacturer from a standpoint of getting a reliable car.
Uh-huh. I assume that also extends to the mechanical bits, because you wouldn't get this
No.
from the factory.
It did, and depending upon the year and the model, it was offered with a 1.8 liter four-cylinder, a 2 liter four-cylinder. I believe some markets got a 2 liter 6, and they would do these engines. This was
That was very Japanese.
right. And the thing is, the 1.8 and the 2 liter 4 were for the customer that was just able to get his first big car, because this was a big car in Japan. It was also, as you know, very popular because the breadth of its product range that helped it basically do what it did.
Yeah. Very nice. Very attractive car. I think it's aged well.
It's the classic example of it's not conservative, so you're going to look at it and say, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, very nice. All right, Jim, what is this beautiful four-door?
This is a Toyota Crown. The Crown name has been on a Toyota passenger car since the first Toyota was sold in the United States.
So it's like their longest running, nearly longest running
but
vehicle.
not contiguous in the U.S. They've had some breaks, but in Japan, they've always had a Crown.
Yep.
They realized they had to kind of move the Crown up market, and the best way to do that was to make a hardtop.
But it was already a sedan. What
It
do you
was
mean
a
by
sedan with
hardtop?
pillars. didn't have a thick B-pillar. It had frameless door glass. The roof was also slightly lower than the regular Crown.
They lowered the roof line?
They lowered the roof line,
What
yeah.
does that cost?
No, it's all new
in
sheet
tooling?
metal anyway. It had to be new sheet metal to do the frameless doors. There's
Okay.
a lot of money in doing this car. They also decided to do the vertical taillights, which sort of intoned Cadillac at the time.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
And then, most importantly, they put a V8 in it.
I mean, you got to have a V8,
Okay,
right?
now this
or
is-
a V8. What do you say?
Buihachi.
V8.
So it had a V8. And again, this wasn't just a Crown. Because of the nature of it, it was a Crown Majesta.
What makes it majestic?
Clearly, it's a hardtop. It's a low roof car, so it has less room than that. So you have to be...
The luxury of less interior space.
Exactly. And the worst part of it is, of course, you can't wear your Crown in it.
No, because you will just hit the headliner.
Easily. But the Majesta was successful because it was the first time they started to make the Crown even slightly expressive compared to what it was. Because before it was simply the bulletproof top-of-the-line Toyota. It was good.
Yeah.
And I say top-of-the-line because the Century was so much an order of magnitude beyond this because of the low production. Crowns they built a lot of. The Crown Comfort was the most popular taxi in Japan for decades.
Interesting.
And it was one where they took all this roof they cut out of this one and they added it to the Crown Comfort.
they had surplus roofs, so
it had a taller roof.
You could wear a stovepipe hat, probably.
And we made that comment. They said this car gets the roof that they took off the Majestas. But the Majesta started this more expressive one, and the high point was when they added the Crown Athlete.
Oh, we got a gust of wind here. Tents are blown away, folks. We better stand out in the open here.
Yeah, let's
just
stand.
to be sure.
I wish I had my metal comb, but I really don't need a comb anymore.
Why is that?
Oh, be quiet.
Well, that was a close call. We nearly got blown away by hurricane force winds, but we're safe. We're okay. It's still sprinkling a little bit, but you got to check out some of our water-resistant t-shirts that are available in our merchandise shop. Huh? How about that? AutoEsoterica.myspreadshirt.com. Hit the QR code on the screen or the link in the description box below to check out all of our great AutoEsoterica merchandise. We'd love to see you purchase that and, give us your money if you can. But anyway, Jim,
Yeah.
we've got another Crown sedan here.
Crown is evergreen for Toyota. I
Okay.
mean, it is. It's one of the things that they could always rely on the Crown. It got a different clientele than the equivalent Nissan product. It got somebody more upscale. The Crown went through these variations because originally it was just the Crown.
Okay. We had
Then-
the Majesta.
The Crown Majesta.
Yeah.
They also had a Crown that was technically below the Majesta, but in some ways was a better car. That was the Crown Saloon.
Okay.
Yes, I said Saloon.
Like
It-
Wild Western gunfighters going in.
Like
and getting-
drinking in a car, okay?
That's a great mix.
And it's another one where they took the Crown, which was historically a four-door sedan,
Yep.
and they turned it into a pillarless window frame, thin pillar hardtop, lowered the roof.
Yep.
And this was a car that positioned itself above the Crown, but this was below the Majesta.
Okay.
And
But this has the conventional roof line.
this is a lowered roof line as well.
Oh, it is?
It is a lowered roof line.
Is
yes.
the tooling the same then? Are they
No.
frameless doors? No,
They're
not.
frameless
They're
doors,
frameless,
but
okay.
they are not interchanged with the Majesta.
Why?
Okay.
Why?
For one thing, we have a product generation difference between the two cars.
Okay.
Okay, but even
Definitely.
then, the Majesta for a while was basically a V8 variant of the low roof expressive sedan.
Okay.
Then they realized they were sort of on top of each other, and the 8-cylinder had issues involving fuel costs and so on. So they decided to make the Royal the product. But the point is, they always kept expressive Crowns in the model range. Always. It was what made the Crown a broad-based vehicle. They could sell it to more buyers.
Uh-huh.
I want a car that makes a statement. You would obviously say you would want a Royal Saloon. Royal
Man, you're going to
script.
pull in this font is so floral, so flowery. It's upsetting my allergies.
It isn't.
in fact.
That is
It's
not
such
floral. You're looking at a Regal. Dare I even say it? A Royal
Buick,
font.
another Buick. Up front, what's under the hood here, Jim? You were talking about a V8 in the Majesta
Yeah.
model. Too much fuel consumption, obviously.
Royal Saloons were all inline sixes.
Okay.
That's all it was ever offered with this product generation.
Gotcha.
Could the V8 have fit in it? Yes, but that would have confused the product range even more.
And we got that beautiful Crown logo right up front, eh?
I would consider that a Royal Crown,
You could very well.
and it would make a hell of a soft drink. And this one, it's hard to see inside because they blacked out the glass. And they have a decidedly aftermarket wheel on it. But again, it's another car that used the sort of mohairy mouse fur type upholstery rather than leather. Because in luxury cars, when this was out, leather was not yet considered a premium material. Understand something. The Japanese term for vinyl interior was leza, okay?
Leza?
Phonetically, spelled in katakana, leza. So when it came time to put actual real leather in cars, they had to come up with a name that was more expressive. So it's called honkawa.
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 Okay.
Hon is real. Kawa is skin.
Real skin.
Real skin.
Charming.
Yes, exactly. It's like
I'll have my crown
with real skin
with
interior.
real skin, please.
Yeah, it just doesn't sound right. See, but to the Japanese, that's what it is. So it's like, it's honkawa.
And on that note,
Yeah.
we better talk about another car.
We should talk about another car.
Yeah.
Something better.
All right, Jim, we're back inside. The rain, the weather had the audacity to start pissing again. So
Badly.
yeah. So we're back in the velodrome here, but there's one more JDM car, never sold in the US, that you wanted to talk about.
Yes, there is.
And I believe it's right over here. So what are we looking at?
This is a Toyota Century.
Okay. And
This
what
is-
does that mean?
The Century is the top of the Toyota product range, period. It's
That's it.
positioned above Lexuses in Japan.
So you want the pure luxury, the purest expression of Toyota luxury. You're not going to the Lexus store. You're getting this.
The Lexus is international luxury. This is Japanese luxury. It is super low volume. They're effectively hand built. They're built with modern technology, but there's a tremendous amount of hand detailing on the vehicle. This one, which is my favorite, is a V12.
I mean,
It is-
cylinders really need to be measured by the dozen.
Absolutely. It's a 5-liter V12. There were two versions of it. There's the version that most of them had, and there was also, because the car was used by hotels and fleets, there was also an LPG version. Had a cylindrical tank in the back, and that was it. So a lot of the hotel cars were LPG cars. It's unlike the stuff Lexus does. Default, there's no leather in it. It's literally
It's a wool blend.
It's a wool, incredibly rich, has a great what they call hand feel. And the whole idea is it's comfortable in any weather.
Okay.
It's when it's cold, it's warm. When it's really hot, you don't perspire in it. It's the sort of ultimate customer-focused
And
material.
they're nicely swaddled in doilies as well. But
Doilies are a really essential part in high-end cars
Yep.
in Japan and taxis.
Uh-huh.
And I can't explain why.
well,
But
we
they-
will actually get to that in a separate video because we have a whole additional
Really?
feature about the Toyota Century.
Just
You
the
can-
Century.
Exactly. You can check that out on the AutoEsoterica YouTube channel next by clicking the on-screen link. And we do thank you very much for watching this video.